at the end.
I'm like, look at Shaun. He took a disco song. He added his little rap line.
Yep.
I
he's creative.
cracked up when
I couldn't. Yeah, when I heard the end, I'm like, what is that?
That's
Yeah,
Shaun.
the ending. I was like, I don't understand.
Yeah, he was making a little rap at the end. I'm like, okay. Welcome to the Shaun Squad Society podcast with your hosts, myself, Cindy,
Doris,
Dame Madonna,
where we invite you to share in our enthusiasm and reminisce about all things Shaun Cassidy.
From his teen idol days to his recent adventures back on the road again.
Please join us for the stories and memories that connected us to those happy days that helped create the Shaun Squad Society podcast.
All right, let's get started. What are we talking about today? We're talking about another Shaun Cassidy album.
Hey, everybody. Here we are.
Here we are.
It's, what day is it? It's room service day.
It's room
I
service.
want some room service.
Yes.
Room Service with Shaun Cassidy.
Yep, that's his fourth studio album. That's what we're going to talk about. So, Room Service was released on July 1st, 1979, under the genre of pop music. And he was still on his Warner Brothers label at the time. And Michael Lloyd produced this album. So, this was his fourth album. What did you think?
I loved it.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Room
I did
service
too.
is probably my second favorite album.
Oh,
The Under Wraps is my favorite, only because of the one song that's on
yes.
there.
Your favorite song.
Yeah. But yeah, I loved Room Service. He grew.
I was surprised by it.
Hey,
I didn't know what to expect.
you know what? You know what we should do?
Hmm.
We should ask the critic, ask the real critic, what did they think of Room Service?
Yeah, there are critics out there.
Well, yeah,
Always.
let's read what the critics really thought of this album, and then we could give our assessment, because I think we're going to be like more on target.
I think
than
we'll be
they.
more accurate as
Yeah.
a fan because
Yeah.
these people that listen to it
Always.
are really critical. Yeah, he uses big words in this, but
It's written like a critic.
yeah, it is. It is.
I mean, I can barely understand what he's trying to say. He starts off saying, Shaun Cassidy's pop rock career. Oh, I should say, this review was written by someone by the name of Ralph Heibutzski.
Heibutzski? I think it's Heibutzski.
Okay,
Don't know who he is.
no idea. Shaun
idea.
Cassidy's pop rock career had effectively peaked when the album came out, when Room Service came out, although he was still gamingly trying to push the river. Okay.
What's the river?
I think he's like saying he's trying to, Shaun had peaked,
Yeah.
but he's still trying to get up there
Yeah.
with one
Keep
more
the
good-
train going, right?
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah, he's a go-getter.
Yep. Push the river.
What else does he say that didn't make a lot of sense to us? He's saying overall that there were a lot of musicians on this album,
Yeah.
right?
13 different musicians.
And he didn't say who they are, but Shaun and Michael Lloyd was amongst them.
Yeah, and I think his friend David Jolliffe, too.
David Jolliffe,
Yep.
of course, played on this one.
Yeah. Michael Lloyd was the songwriter, producer, and he pulled out all the stops for this record for Shaun.
Yeah.
Yeah, he did that for Shaun, but he also did it for Osmonds and Leif Garrett. Did you guys know that?
Really? No.
Yeah, Michael Lloyd was he worked at Warner Brothers, Warner Curb Records, I guess. So maybe he was, if you are not label or affiliated with it. I could be wrong, but
Did you guys know? He also supervised the music soundtrack for Dirty Dancing.
Oh, okay.
Remember, Eric, when we talked about him too? So
Yeah.
that's pretty neat.
He was a popular producer back then.
yeah.
And he was
Well,
young.
he also worked with Belinda Carlisle, Barry Manilow,
Oh,
and by the age of 13, he had formed his own band at Beverly Hills. Kind of
Oh,
reminds you of
really?
what Shaun did.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it reminds you a lot of Shaun. But Cindy, you told me something really cool about Michael Lloyd.
oh yeah. He was playing at Shaun's concerts. So back in 78, he was the guitarist on stage. So I got to meet him I don't know if it was before or after the concert, but yeah, I met him, got his autograph. He's a pretty cool
That's
guy.
cool. Yeah,
But
that
he's-
really is cool.
Yeah, he seemed young, like the same age as Shaun, but I know he was older, but he looked younger.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mhm.
But he was a good addition to his band for sure.
Cindy, what?
Yep.
What does this guy Ralph say a little bit about some of the songs on the album? Because he's boring me already. I don't even want to go through a lot of what he said. But let's go straight to the chase here. What is
Well,
he saying?
first he said it's the problem with the album is not the production. It's a slick yet solid exhibit of the late 70s LA sound.
Well, that's kind of funny.
Oh, I remember that.
We're each going to talk a little bit about our assessment of the songs. And it's kind of funny. Before you shared with me this guy's review, I have written my own reviews, and I got some of the same words. So that's kind of ironic.
So you're on the same page then?
Not really, because I don't
Yeah.
like some of what he's saying.
Some of it.
Yeah.
But that's a
Yeah.
similarity. But then he went
Yeah.
in to say there's a pop-tinged disco song like "Are You Afraid of Me" and "Time for a Change."
Okay, we could talk about that.
I don't think it's disco, really. Do you?
We're going to talk about that. We're going
Okay.
to
Well,
get
the first
into that.
one.
Yeah, we'll talk about that when we get to the song. And then synth-driven balladry,
Oh.
"You Still Surprise Me."
Yeah. Synth rock was getting big in the late
Yeah,
70s,
true.
early 80s. So I can see him saying that.
True. Yep. And then there's a nod to Cassidy's rock and roll roots with a slinky remake of The Letter. We all know The Letter, right? Remember that song, The Letter? Was
Well,
it from the
she
60s?
wrote me a letter, said
Yes.
she just couldn't live without me
Yeah.
anymore.
That was from the
Yeah.
60s.
Yeah, that's the Bots Tops. It was
Oh.
was it the early 70s or was it the 60s?
Not sure.
Something like that.
Something like that.
Well, I like how it starts out because it says it gives me a ticket for an airplane, which is cool since I just bought a ticket, for an airplane. Therese knows about that because she's coming with me. And that's neat because we'll see Shaun and Tracy. But anyway, back to this song.
Yeah.
It says that he doesn't care how much the ticket costs. He has to get back to his girl.
That's right.
Yeah.
And Shaun always liked those older songs too, so I'm
Yeah.
sure he wanted to include one with his album.
But the
Yeah.
good thing, which I found good, maybe a lot of people didn't, but for this album,
Mm-hmm.
there's only one cover tune, and this is it, The Letter.
Right.
He didn't do a lot of covers, whereas his first album, Shaun Cassidy, is
Yeah.
basically all covers.
Yeah, right.
So
Right.
I thought this was really great
Yeah.
that he grew up, started using more original material, but he still did a nod, and he found the one
Yes.
he liked.
And I agree. I like that
Yes.
song. I didn't mind it. I like his version.
In the original version, they don't say airplane. He says, "Give me a ticket for
Oh,
an
okay.
aeroplane." He said,
Oh.
"Listen to it." He goes, "Give me a ticket for
Okay.
an aeroplane."
Yeah,
Maybe
you're
I
right.
was thinking that way because I was just thinking just straight out. Okay, I'm
No,
going
he
on an
means
airplane.
airplanes. It's just
Yeah.
his phonetically
Yeah.
pronunciation of it
Right.
In the song, yeah.
in the song. Yeah,
And maybe they did that for a
Well-
reason. Who knows?
I think they needed more syllables. You
To
know how a
make it-
song has to flow.
Yes. Maybe.
Back then, you sure couldn't say, "Well, she sent me a text" or "She sent me an email,"
Well,
because it was all
today's-
about that letter.
Today's version you can, but yeah, back then.
so that's what I thought was neat with the time period. It's all
Right.
about that letter. That meant a lot to him. He was going to go get to her.
Go get to her, yeah. But it said the real issue with this album is a lack of material for Cassidy to call his own.
See now,
So,
Yeah, I
me
read
and
that.
Bruce are he's getting on my nerves.
Bruce?
Yeah.
What's this man's name?
Ralph?
Ralph. See, I
Ralph.
can't even remember his name. Bruce, Ralph.
Yeah,
Whoever
she's so
he
irritating.
was.
Critic.
Yeah. Therese would be a better critic.
Yeah. Well, we're the fans. I think we're the ultimate critic.
There you go.
Ultimate
But
critic.
no, one thing he did say, Cindy, that I think I have to agree with, the song "You're Using Me,"
Yeah.
he wrote it. Read the way he wrote this sentence.
Okay. But that's only because of the iffy company that surrounds them, although You're Using Me benefits from a gritty, vocal, presumably inspired by hard-bitten experience, as half-brother David could attest to.
Okay, so he's using all these crazy words and adjectives, and I think what he's just trying to say is Shaun and David were both big teen idols, and most of the
Mhm.
people they encountered were using them. And that's
Yeah.
what this song is
Well,
about.
Yeah.
the world of people using them.
You use them, they use you.
Everybody
Yeah,
can
but he
see.
feels abused in this. He
Yeah.
just
Well,
feels
yeah,
abused and used.
we're gonna
Right.
yeah,
Yeah,
we're
we'll
gonna
get into
really
that.
get into that. But this critic, when he wrote it, he was like, yeah, this is kind of the David and Shaun could basically
Oh,
both
okay.
live that, can attest to the world of being used.
Right, right. But then they
Yeah,
say
okay.
Cassidy might have had better luck if he'd stuck to his stripped down guns on Fallen Into You or Break for the Street, whose crisp delivery and guitar work make them the best moments here. So I guess this critic liked those songs.
He loved Break for the Street and Falling.
I agree with him there.
I can't disagree on Break for the Street.
Yeah, I love that one.
That's a great song.
It
and
is.
Falling
Yes.
Into You, I'm going to talk a little bit, but it has this, I don't know if that's a piano, but it has this repetitive chord, dun, dun, all the way through. And it's catchy.
Yeah.
And I love that. Yeah, so
Yeah.
Ralph, that was his critic's version of what he thought of the album. How about if we tell the world what we think of the album?
Yes.
Of each song. Yeah, just a little bit.
What do we think of the album? So the first
Yeah.
one is Falling Into You. And if I could play a little bit of that, we can kind of get an idea which song we're talking about.
Okay.
Here we are, alone at last. The party's over and we're sinking fast. But there's still time for one more dance tonight. Pick it up and work it down. Let's have ourselves another round.
All right. What do you guys think about that one?
Well, Cindy,
girls-
can you, real quick, Dame, before you start, Cindy, can you fast forward real quick to the chorus, the Falling Into You chorus?
Okay.
That's what I'm going to talk about a little bit. But first, Dame's going to speak.
Okay, yeah, I'll just have something real quick.
All right. Of course.
About it into you. Ooh, baby, ooh, you tonight. Feeling alone.
I like that one.
Girls. This one seems so very personal. He sounds like such a romantic when I heard the words.
Yeah.
And I like the part where he says, "Let me woo you." What girl is going to tell her man no to that?
No, that's all right. Nah, I don't want to be wooed.
And that was the name of the at the time, right? How they described it,
Yeah.
like wooing
Yeah,
you.
that's true.
I don't know if
The
they
time
use it so
period.
much these days, but back
No,
then
but
they
it
did.
sounded good.
Yeah.
He could say that now. That makes me happy.
But I love the music in it. I love the piano. Yeah, I love
So,
all that. That caught my attention right away.
Yes, at that chorus, there's a repetitive piano chord that really drives home to me.
It's a really nice up song, and of course, he likes to talk about his loves.
I just remember seeing some girls dancing to that song and they were swaying to it like it was just perfect for that. So the tune and it sounds really good. It has a good feel to it.
Yeah, and Shaun and David Jolliffe wrote it. Good job.
Okay.
So when I first heard Falling Into You as a kid, now, again, we talk about these songs we listened to and I wasn't a little girl. By the time Room Service came out, Shaun had grown. We had all grown.
Yep.
And you could tell in his more, the songs are more adult things.
Yeah, they were.
Falling Into You. Okay.
I had to get adjusted to it
Well,
from the other
listen
one.
to this. Take it slow and make it last. There's a line in the song that says, take it slow and make it last. And there's a part that says, let's have ourselves another round. Ain't no man,
Yeah.
woman, child gonna stop us now. Come on, baby, let me woo you. Okay, what's the song about? Come on, y'all.
Well,
what is
he's
the
falling
song
into her.
detail.
about?
He's falling in love.
Okay, you can
Yeah,
call it
there you go.
that.
Yeah.
I know what it's about. And when I was that young, I was listening to it and I'm like, come on. feeling your love holding me tight tonight. I was like, wow. I mean, I'm 18 years old, 17.
I liked
And I
it.
got Shaun Cassidy telling me, come on, baby, let me woo you tonight.
I like the woo part. The other was too much. I was like, oh no, I'm not going to talk about that part.
And the end says, let's have ourselves another round. Ain't nobody going to stop us now. We're home.
Oh yeah,
We're home.
that's falling in love.
Keep going.
So,
Yeah. I'm like, oh no.
so absolutely, this song, the first cut on the album, let us know Shaun Cassidy was not singing to 12-year-old girls anymore.
No.
This song was his graduation.
Yeah.
And we graduated right there with him. And it was wonderful. This song is one of my favorites.
Yeah, it is.
Well, instead of falling into you, say falling into love. That's what it sounds like.
Yeah, but see, I'm going more graphic with this. The romantic side is falling into love. The graphic side is, we all know what was going on.
Yeah, I couldn't say that.
Yeah.
Yes. Oh, but we didn't talk about the album cover.
Well.
Oh, yes.
Remember? There's a story with the album cover.
Okay.
And who is that looking at him?
Well,
we don't know her name, that's for sure.
It was a model. We believe it was a model that he knew from high school. He took her to a prom or something.
Right.
And then he hired her to do the album cover. That's all. There's no story behind her.
Oh, okay.
Right.
But it was his idea.
Right. So Shaun said in one of his Q&As, and I have it here, it says his fourth album, which is called Room Service, was his idea, just like the other ones. The notion that you never had any privacy, that there were eyes on you all the time. Hey, no wonder I stopped performing for so long, right? So I guess he didn't like having the eyes on him.
Right.
All the time.
He sure is smiling right there.
But
He's smiling back like, keep your eyes on me.
This thing here, this album cover, it's like a metaphor of people just looking at you all the time.
Shaun always has a message.
Yeah.
There's always
That
a
part's
message.
sad. And it's saying, even though I don't like you guys just always watching me and not giving me my privacy, I still give you my smiles.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He still wants you to enjoy his music and everything. He just doesn't like the living in a fishbowl, like he says.
And by the time Room Service came out, maybe it had, it was starting to get to him.
Yeah.
We have been through Shaun Cassidy Born Late and Under Wraps. And by the time Room Service came out, he's like,
yeah.
All right, I'm just here. You're always
I gotta get out of the fishbowl.
I gotta get out of the
Yeah.
Get me out of the fishbowl. And I understand. I mean, we look at it one way, he looks at it another way. He enjoyed, I guess, the attention and getting his music out there. But when you're constantly clawing at him and stuff, that just kind of gets old.
No, he did, and pulling his hair out. He said that girls were even pulling his hair out, jumping on his car.
Yeah, who would like that? Who would want that to happen to them? That's kind of scary. So
it is sad.
You have to kind of pull away from that because that's a safety issue, I think, with everything.
But
yeah, I read somewhere he was just so happy he could go in somewhere, and then people didn't even notice him at first.
Right.
It does come with the word, quote unquote, teen idol. It happened from way back in the 50s.
Right.
They were doing it all the way through the 60s, the 70s, the 80s. So that's part of that job, and it is a hard part of the job.
Oh, sure. You can't do it for a long period of time.
No, he was smart. He's always been smart, and so he knows when to take time out and when to say, okay, back off.
Right. He went into his writing career after that, so he was good.
Yeah, it's a good thing he has other talents, so.
Exactly.
But
he's multidimensional.
The second song on Room Service, Time for a Change, who wrote that one?
Words and music by Shaun Cassidy.
There you go. See? I was doing a segue. He went into writing.
Words by Shaun Cassidy.
So, Dane, what you got to say about Time for a Change?
Well, wait a minute. I don't agree with the critic then, because the critic kind of said that he didn't have a lot of input with his own stuff on this record, but Shaun wrote a lot of songs on this record.
That's why I was trying to say I didn't agree with a lot of what he said.
Yeah, I don't know where that came from.
But
no, it just, to me, this song, it seems like a breakup song, like as if he's been jaded And so he's pretty upset. Was he trying hard to win her heart back, or was he losing his mind over it?
Yeah.
I think the song sounds very like a high range too. Play it.
Let's hear some of it.
Okay.
Rolling the dice, banking on a second chance. In the land of the jaded romance, riding a dream, stirring a passion for your heart. Giving you what's left of mine, leaving only the words behind, lost in the crowd. I was losing my mind, and I knew it was time for a change. I decided to rearrange, 'cause I knew it was time for a change. Had to find another way. I was waking up mortified, with my back to the wall. I was giving it all to the wind.
All right. What'd you think of that one?
Well, it seemed like it was very high range. I'm not a singer,
Yes, it is.
but it seems very, very, very high. And the song to me just seems like a breakup song because he felt jaded by his romance.
Yeah.
He was trying so hard to win her heart that he was the one losing his mind.
Yeah.
What does it say in the
And-
lyrics there, Cindy?
It says rolling the dice, banking on a second chance in the land of the jaded romance. Riding a dream,
Yes.
steering a passion for your heart. I'm giving you what's left of mine. Leaving only the words behind. Lost in the crowd. I was losing my mind and I knew it was time for a change.
There you go.
There you go.
Okay.
Well, his romance with this girl was just made him frustrated.
Yeah.
And he had wanted it to work out, but he knew it wouldn't.
Yeah. Right.
So
Yeah, and he
needed
says,
time for a change.
I was giving it all to the wind, only never satisfied. Now you're here, and it's clear that you made it a time for a change.
Yep. So he's moving on.
Yeah.
Yeah. I was losing my mind and I knew it was time for a change. When I first heard this song, I used to dance to it. It has sort of that chorus has
Yeah.
sort of a dance feel.
You're right.
Even with that high? Okay.
Yes.
Yes,
that high falsetto.
I think so, too.
Yeah.
You kind of want to get up
no.
and dance.
Disco,
See, it doesn't make me want to dance.
Even though it's not an uppity lyric.
the chorus, though, disco was kind of getting big back then in the late 70s. And it sounds to me like a couple of these songs were trying to put that little bit of a dance feel in them.
Yeah.
And I got to tell you, I wasn't listening to the lyrics.
No, me neither.
yeah,
I like the
just
song.
the feel.
I was just
I like the music.
listening to that sound. And it had a great sound to me. So I enjoyed it a lot.
Yep. All right. All right, let's
It
go.
seemed really high.
Yeah, let's go to the next one then. It's Only Because of Love. So let me play that a little bit and then we'll talk about it.
If you said I could fly, I believe you. Without wondering why, I believe you. Oh, some secret that you got inside, pulling me along for a ride. Everything's alright. Oh, it's only because of love. Would I surrender control? Feel my heart, feel my soul. Only because of love.
All right.
Oh,
What's the
yes.
consensus on that one?
Well, his relationship here he saw as true and encouraging because she, but then he was saying that he'll never let her go no matter what, which I thought was cool, but their relationship was so strong. So that's why he felt that way. And that's what I got out of the song. And yet, even if his woman were to tell him he's a fool, he'd still feel like she was telling him the right thing and still
Yeah.
loved him.
Yes.
And it made me think of like with my own sons, sometimes I say things to them and I'm like, well, you shouldn't do this and you look like this and that shirt looks really bad on you. But really, they should realize that's love, even when you criticize.
Right. And he says it's some secret that you got inside is pulling me along for the ride, but everything's all right. So I guess he
Yeah.
agreed to it.
He's right
Yeah.
there.
Yeah.
He just trusted her.
Yeah.
Now, I really listened to the song again for the first time in years. I listened to it today. And first thing I said is, this song sounds very much like a song written in the late 70s, early 80s. The sound of it. See, I'm listening when you guys are, Dame, you're in tune to the lyrics, and I'm
Yeah.
listening to the beat, the melody, the sound, all of
Okay.
that. And I'm like, this song definitely has that. The chorus had a sound of some other song. I cannot put my finger on it, but some other
Mhm.
popular song that we all heard on the radio in the late 70s, early 80s. And then I said, okay, if I were to listen to the lyrics, here's the one that caught me. Only
Okay.
because of love would I surrender control, share my heart, bear my soul. And
Oh,
like, only because of love. Well, that's the lyric I took from here.
Mhm.
And I remember when I was a kid listening to it, I would go around singing that.
Yeah. Michael Lloyd wrote that song.
Oh, this is a Michael. What did you think of it,
Woohoo.
Cindy?
I don't know. I didn't like it too much.
It wasn't one of your
I'd
favorites.
sang along with it, but it was kind of like, okay, I'm waiting for it to end. I don't know.
Yeah. Well, every album, every artist has a song or two on their album that we just don't dig.
Right. I mean, yeah, you get into some, you don't get into others. So this is one of them I didn't get into.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I think we can move safely on to the
Okay.
next one.
Yeah, let's play this one. The
Oh.
next one, number 4,
Are You
is
Af-
Are You Afraid of Me? So let me play a little bit of that one.
She walks alone on the thoroughfare. Shop windows reflecting a man she's rejecting is there. Still holding on to sometime, somewhere. She was a part of his perfect life. When she used to tell him that she'd be his wife someday. Someday soon, not true. She flew away. Are you afraid of me? I took you in a place to be so low.
All right.
Is this the one we had a video to?
No, I don't think this is
No.
the one.
Okay.
But all right, well, this song is one that I know Doris loves. But in the song, when I look at what it means to me, well, she used to tell him that she'd be the wife someday, but then he realized that was not true. So he wondered if, I guess, she was afraid of him. He really wants the forever, and she was the perfect piece to his puzzle to finalize his perfect life. That's what we all see when we think we found the perfect person. But I don't understand the ending of this song. The lyrics confused me, but I'm sure Doris can explain it to me
Oh,
or to us.
well, I'm no Shaun Cassidy lyricist person here, but I gotta tell you, when I first heard this song all those years ago, and when I listened to it today, I almost felt the exact same way. I
Huh.
love this song.
I do too.
This song to me, and this is what I wrote in my notes. This song is totally Rod Stewart. The beginning
Oh.
sounds just like Do You Think I'm Sexy, which was Rod Stewart's nod to disco.
True.
And then I wrote this song, it's Shaun's answer to disco. It's almost like they had to put a disco nod in there, and this is it. And then I went into listening to the lyrics. Oh my God, I love this song. Did I touch you in a place that breaks too easily? Is it much too
Like the
much?
heart.
Is it just much too much for you to give your love to me? I mean,
Aw,
that,
pretty-
and then
But it's talking about she's rejecting another man.
Mhm.
The man she's rejecting is there still holding on.
so
So does that mean she doesn't want to give her love to him because she didn't want to give her love to the other guy?
I don't know.
I don't know either.
All I know is he asks, is it much too much? Can you just, I'm asking too much for you to give your love to me,
Maybe.
spend the night with me. Is she having an affair? That's the part that I'm getting to.
Oh,
So she's with this guy and he wants to be with her forever, but she's with
Yeah.
another man.
That's not good.
Well,
could be.
there it is. And then here's the part.
When she was part of his perfect life, when she used to tell him that she'd be his wife someday soon, not true. She flew away, so she didn't want to get married to the other guy.
Yeah.
And yet he wanted the piece of the puzzle that she fit in.
Well, maybe she didn't trust love.
That could be.
Maybe. We don't know the backstory.
Right.
That could be. But you know the fun part of this song? And I hope Cindy can find it. Shaun busts into a rap.
Hell no.
No, there's a whole rap section. He goes, girls on the outside trying to make it inside, boys on the east side trying to take a slow ride.
Yeah.
Shaun broke into
At the end.
I'm like, look at Shaun. He took a disco song. He added his little rap line.
Yep.
He's creative.
cracked up when
I couldn't. Yeah, when I heard the end, I'm like, what is that?
That's
Yeah,
Shaun.
the ending. I was like, I don't understand.
Yeah, he was making a little rap at the end. I'm like, okay.
Can you find it, Cindy?
Yeah, let's see if I can get to that part on the end.
That was Shaun's little rap.
That's his little rap.
I'm like, listen to Shaun. He was a little bit before his time doing rap. But yeah, this was always my favorite.
I do like that one, yes.
It's got that whole disco kind of sound.
That one
Sounds
works.
like Rod Stewart. It's just a fun song.
Mm-hmm.
It is. I just didn't understand the last part of the lyrics, but maybe somebody will tell us.
Right. Yeah. I mean, I don't know either because, like, I always listen to the melody
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
and I don't pay attention to the words. But
yeah, maybe some listeners will tell us their input on what he was saying.
yeah, I thought it was just like a trust issue.
Yeah.
She didn't trust to connect. And are you afraid of me? You know, did I touch you? Did I hurt you? What? You
Doesn't
know,
break your heart,
he doesn't understand it.
Yes.
but you're breaking mine.
Right. Yeah. Okay. Let's go to the next song. The next one is Break for the Street in Words and Music by Shaun Cassidy. Let's hear this one.
Safe at home is lovely wife, with whom we shared a simple life. Suddenly finds she's needing more. Longing for the love that died so many years before. She was 17 and he was 21, but till the day that she was married young. So will it be? Break for the street. Break for the street.
All right. I like that
Well,
one.
Yeah, I like the beat in this song. I remember thinking that when I was listening to it, but it explains so much that happens with couples. This was a young couple, you know. The girl was underage. She was 17.
Yeah.
Yeah, and the guy was 21, and I'm sure they had a fun honeymoon, and she still really probably hadn't lived much of a life yet. But here he was, this new husband of 21, and they're trying to survive this marriage because, you know, he's out there working. But it seemed like it would all be a fantasy. But many new couples, you know, sometimes they don't realize that after the honeymoon comes the bills, you know.
Mm-hmm.
His new wife was 17 and he was a hard worker. His new bride got to stay at home. She lived a simple life. But then she started missing the olden days, maybe of romance and courtship. And then years go by and she starts to feel incomplete. So this guy thinks he's doing his part by working very hard.
Right.
Guys feel that.
Yep.
But the woman's like, where's the romance? And he's feeling like, well, I am romancing her by working, you know. But it sounds yes, but it sounds like she just packs up and
She needs
gets
more.
her suitcases and she needs more. And then it was strange how it continues from here. It says break for the street. So maybe you girls can explain that to me in just a minute. But her next love was the age of her husband remember when they got married?
Mhm.
So 36 now, is that what it was?
She turned the tables.
36 and he's
Yeah.
21.
She's the
yeah.
older woman.
Yeah, it was just like the way it went together. So her next love wasn't any better. So it sounds like she should
Right.
have just stayed with the original husband and worked through this, and instead of going and try to find new romance, because you go back into this pattern again.
Right. She says suddenly finds she's needing more, longing for the love that died so many years before.
Uh-huh.
She was 17, he was 21.
She
thought
wants
it
that
was
woo
incomplete.
again.
Well, yeah. I mean, I listened today and I'm like, basically everything James said, I thought. This is a housewife.
Yeah.
She's 17 years old, got married, became a housewife.
Too
He's
young.
doing his part. He's providing.
Right.
But she wants more.
So she breaks for the streets. She leaves. She runs away.
Yeah.
It took her a
That
little
didn't work
while.
out for her.
And yeah, and then she found she was a cougar. She met a 21-year-old.
Yes.
And
I saw that.
this is
Yeah, that didn't work out.
the classic story of just
It really
getting
is.
out of there. I gotta go.
Yeah, so she said, it says, before it began, it was over and done, so incomplete. So the second time
Sad.
is still incomplete. So she hasn't been finding what she wanted in a relationship.
What's break for the street? Just to leave? Is that what
Yeah,
that
I think
means?
it's to leave.
Yeah, we used
Okay.
to say that all the time as kids. Maybe it was a
Okay.
70s phrase. I got
Yeah.
to break for the street. I got to break for it.
Okay.
Yeah.
It even got shortened to break for it. We got to break for it. You heard people say make a break for it. That's what they mean. Run.
Yeah.
Okay.
Right. Run for it. Get out of there. Go
All
somewhere
right.
else. So
Well,
she
that didn't
ran.
work out for her.
The husband was doing all he could do, and she wasn't
That's
happy.
sad.
Yeah, she just wasn't
That's
happy.
the typical married couple.
Yeah.
A lot of times, not all, but
And
some.
he was, he was young too, like it says.
21.
They were both young, and he
Mhm.
wanted to make a good life for her, a good home for her.
So he was doing his
trying.
best. Yeah.
Working hard, but it
But
was so incomplete.
wasn't enough for her.
Nope.
It's hard because men think so much differently than women. We still want romance, but they want to feel appreciated. So
Right.
we don't have the same brains.
And over all of those deep lyrics was a catchy song.
Yeah.
It was
It was.
the
It was.
music, everything
liked
was
it.
so catchy about it. The way it,
Mhm.
I really used to listen to that song over and over.
Yeah, and again, I didn't pay attention to the words. I just like the music.
So I got to tell you guys, you know how I tell you guys funny stories? When we used to listen to Break for the Street, my sister and I, it says, the corporate example of the middle class staying alive.
Mm-hmm.
That's in the first verse. We would go, the
Yeah.
corporate example of a middle class staying alive. Then we go,
Yeah.
staying alive.
Oh,
We
no.
were
little
the
Bee Gees in there.
That's funny.
Every time we heard the song, we would go,
Go
we would
70s.
do that.
I never thought of that,
A
but yeah, it
mix.
makes sense.
That's cute. That is
Staying
so cute. I wish
alive.
we had a video.
Yeah,
a
this
video
song
of
was
Grace
written
doing
in
that.
79, so I wonder if that was
Okay.
the Bee Gees song was out already.
Yeah, it was out.
Yeah.
Saturday Night Fever had been out by then.
Right. Yeah.
So Grace put it
we
together.
would just go, staying alive.
That's funny.
But
I didn't do that.
It was a great song. Break for the Street
Yeah.
is
It was a good
great
song.
Yes.
Yep, I like that one.
Yes. Good.
All
I think
right.
it had a good message. I like the words.
Yeah, it was. It was a good song. It was interesting. It was engaging with a good beat.
Right.
Like, you know how they used to rate that on American Bandstand?
American Bandstand.
Yeah. Well, I like that song. It's got a good beat.
That was,
Yeah.
that was this one.
So they would say the same thing over and over again. Yeah, I like it's a good beat. I could dance to it.
That's exactly
Yeah.
what they say. It has a good beat. I can dance
Yeah,
to it.
it was funny.
So much for the
Clock is
words.
up there saying, okay,
Oh,
can we
same
get a
thing
little
over and
more
over.
original?
Yeah.
All right. So
All right, next song.
Heaven in Your Eyes.
Heaven in Your Eyes, words by Howard Greenfield, music by Michael Lloyd. So another Michael Lloyd song.
All right, let's hear it.
All right, let's hear it.
Another favorite.
Yep.
Magic touched my life the moment that you smiled. The world began for me. You unlocked my heart and all the feelings there. I never thought I could see. It's just too good to be true. Heaven in your eyes, I've never been so high. Heaven in your eyes, nobody does what you do. Just for looking, I could touch the sky. No more.
All right.
Oh, makes me want to melt. I like how it starts. It does.
Yes.
It's one of my all-time favorites. There's another one that like you said, there's songs that have heaven in it. There's so
Yeah.
many.
Right.
But
I was going to
mhm.
mention that.
Yeah, and there's a YouTube video of him singing this, but I think they put too much eye makeup on him. I don't know if you guys saw the YouTube video on this one, but it does show all the girls in the audience, and they were just mesmerized. So the camera kept going in onto the girls' faces in this video that I watched. And Shaun's collar, it was funny, it was turned up. But he didn't have those white satin pants on or anything. He sings, and he's singing into the song, and he goes, "No more lonely nights anymore since she came along." Well, love does make one high, and it says that in the song. And it's so neat to watch all the feathered hair in this audience in this
Oh my
YouTube
gosh.
video. It's funny. It was cool though.
Yeah,
Find
feathered
that.
hair, follow them everywhere.
I have not
But
seen
it's-
it. I'm going to find it.
And he has so much eye makeup on. He
my.
really didn't need it, but it's beautiful. And I just loved seeing the girls just looking at him, just mesmerized. They weren't like, "Yay, Shaun!" They were more like, "Shaun."
Well, heaven in your eyes, so they're showing their heaven, I
Oh
guess.
yes, good point. Very good point.
Yeah.
There he was singing those high notes. No wonder, he wanted to stop back then. When I watched him sing, and I was like, "Oh, he's probably thinking I need to run."
Yeah.
But I'm so happy that now, even though he felt that way maybe back then somewhat,
Yeah.
that his wife Tracy has encouraged him to come back out, instead of having to run from all these girls that are mesmerized. So we're a whole different crowd now. I mean, he's always been a good entertainer. Lots of his songs have heaven in them, like we said.
Yeah.
And Cindy and I talked
It's
about
like
that, but-
heaven. Yeah.
Yes.
The other song we like, It's Like Heaven. Mhm.
Yes.
Okay. So I know the two for sure. And then the rest just make us feel like we're in heaven.
Yeah, they do.
Yep.
Heaven in Your Eyes. Oh my God. I forgot all about this song. All about it. Never thought about it for years. Listened to it today, and I'm like, oh, you know what this song reminds me of? You guys probably won't get it. But back in the day, we used to call songs like this slow jams. Like they
Mhm.
kind of have this R&B, blue-eyed soul sound, and you called them slow jams. And that means you just sat there and you swayed and you swooned, and it had, like James says, all that falsetto singing. Like
Mhm.
if you think about some of the early Bee Gees, early blue-eyed soul. Blue-eyed soul is just white people singing really R&B sounding soul.
Oh, okay.
Just like your Hall and Oates, your Bee Gees used to be.
Yeah, it had a good guitar in there
Yeah.
somewhere.
This song, like James says, it's got that swooning sound to it.
Yeah.
I forgot.
Yes,
I
melts
forgot
you.
all about it, but I like it. I heard it.
mesmerizes.
and I
It was a
went,
nice mellow song. I agree.
yeah.
It was
But
good.
it had more of a R&B feel. Like you could just sit there and get into that smooth sound of it.
Right.
Yeah, wait till you watch that video.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right. Well, speaking of that, the next song has a video
Okay.
that I guess I'll play the video instead of the audio, and we could see the video
Yeah.
because he performs this song at some show, but I'm not really sure where he's at.
Yeah, I didn't look and see where it said he is.
Yeah.
No. Yep.
But the next song's called You're Using Me, and words and music by Michael Lloyd. I heard that song before somewhere else. Before. I don't know where.
On the album, before the album.
Yeah. It's a familiar song.
Yeah, it has sad words to it though.
Yeah. All right. So are you ready to watch the video?
Here we
And
go.
then-
I'm ready.
Everybody can see that your love don't complete. using me, using me, and you're making me pay every night
I don't know. It's brown. Are they black leather, brown leather?
abusing me. Kill me around when I'm down, pushing me all over town. Like a dog, I take it, even though I should hate it. I can't get away from you.
Yeah, I think it's brown leather or black leather.
Because he has on a brown plaid shirt, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, so his pants would be brown, but
Look at his,
See how he went from satin pants to leather pants?
yeah. And
oh, true.
he looked at the audience. It's almost like they don't know what to take from this.
Oh, it looks like it's from Germany.
Yes, from Germany.
Okay, maybe that's why.
And it's a Hamburg. And he's into it. Shaun is into it. He's trying to get the audience into it. But here's my favorite part right here. He gets like down into it.
Yeah. His hair is so shiny.
I don't know. What are we trying to get from this video here? It's just that one of his,
Well,
I hope those girls are not clapping in the front. What's their problem?
Did you see? That's what I'm saying.
they're mesmerized again.
No, those two girls were looking in different directions.
Yeah, I'm like, wait a minute, you're watching
Oh.
Shaun Cassidy. You better be into this.
And they're
Yeah.
not paying him any attention, but the older gentlemen behind them are into it because it's an adult song. I don't think
Oh.
this audience is getting it. And
Right.
Okay, so they're not
over
getting
their
it.
head.
I'm thinking maybe
Okay.
it was a general show over there, so not everybody in the audience was a fan. They're at a show,
So they
Like
didn't
a-
know how lucky they were.
talk show or something like that. Yeah.
Yeah, they didn't realize how lucky they were. That's all.
Interesting, though.
Yeah.
He had different clothes
Yeah.
on. He tried to look older.
Yeah. In this song, it seems like some of the lyrics are interesting. He compares what he takes from this girl to what he thinks a dog puts up with. I was like, that's sad.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, he doesn't like, nobody likes to be used, but,
Yeah.
you know, that's just unfortunate. But he
You're
says,
making-
listen, I don't know what to do, but I got to learn to start using you.
Yeah.
Then you'll have
That's
tasted how it
terrible.
feels to be wasted. So she's going to use him, so now he's going to use her.
Exactly.
Oh, wow.
Turn it
Aw.
around.
Your using days are going to be through. No,
That's not Shaun.
I don't think that would be Shaun either, but
Not at all.
this girl is just a user.
But you know
Yeah,
what,
there are
you guys?
users.
Every song he wrote, who wrote this one?
Michael Lloyd.
Yeah, see, so
There
every
you go.
song he sings isn't always his personality.
Right.
It was
That's
just the song.
Yeah.
So every single lyric of this song is hard hitting.
Yeah.
Every one of them.
Yeah.
Right.
This is almost like an abusive relationship.
I know.
It
Everyone
is.
can see that your love is not free. So I was like, how is she making him pay?
Yeah, a lot of these songs in this album, you know, Are You Afraid of Me? You know, she's not very happy. Break for the Street, she's not very happy. You know, it just sounds like a sad type of thing. The relationships don't work,
Drama.
you know, but then Shaun falls into you and Heaven in Your Eyes.
Yeah.
That's true. That's true.
You
And
know,
then-
Time for a Change is a second chance. So it's kind of like
Yeah.
a jaded album almost, it sounds like.
It's just, yeah.
Yeah?
Yeah.
up
Right.
and down.
Every single lyric, every one of them, is everybody can see that your love don't come free.
Yeah.
You're using me. You're making me pay every night, every day. You're using me, abusing me.
Yep.
Oh my God.
Yeah, but
This
I
will
think...
make the guys want to run.
Yeah, exactly. But I think the next song coming up is going to be better. This one is called The Letter. We know that's the cover song.
Yeah, the
And
box tops.
It was
did
written by Wayne Carson.
Okay.
Yeah, words and music by Wayne Carson. And here's a little bit of the song.
got time to take no fast train. Lonely days are gone, I'm a coming home. But baby, you wrote me a letter. Well, I don't care how much money I gotta spend. Gotta get back to my baby again. Lonely days are gone, I'm a coming home. But baby, she wrote me a letter. Well, she wrote me a letter, said it just couldn't live without me no more. Listen, listen, can't you see? I've gotta get back to my baby once more.
Okay, so
Well,
the letter.
yeah, it starts out and it kind of made me think of this recent ticket that I bought that I will be heading out to see Shaun in California. But it starts out with him wanting to get a ticket to be drawn to go see her. But I think two people are always drawn to each other this way when they're falling in love. And it doesn't matter what it is, they'll spend whatever, they will get a plane ticket. And back then, when he wrote this, or who wrote the song?
Wayne Carson.
Okay, well, back then,
I think it was a 60s song or 60s,
Yeah.
early 70s.
Early 70s.
Yeah.
so definitely the only way you
Oh.
could,
Okay, sorry. It was
Get a
written in
hold of each other.
1967,
okay.
late 60s. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Well, he said that she wrote him a letter and she was just, whatever it takes, get here. So, of course, with that much falling in love, you're just like, it doesn't matter how much it costs. I'm going to get there. I'm going to see her. And this song sounds different than some of the others
Yeah.
because it's
Definitely.
it's one direction. It's not where they're fighting.
It's
they haven't gotten
encouraging.
into that
Yes.
yet. Yeah, it's encouraging.
She's not
It's
running
like,
away today this time.
No, this one.
She wrote him a letter.
Yeah, and she said she needs him there because she cannot live without him.
Yeah.
So, we always feel that way when you're falling in love.
Yeah, but this is good. He got the letter.
Mhm.
He don't care how much money he's got to spend.
Nope.
Lonely days are gone. I'm a coming home.
He's not
my
taking a
baby.
train. He's going to take a plane.
Yep.
Whatever it takes. And anyway, I
Yeah.
sometimes feel that way about just Shaun's talent. I'm like, I don't care what it takes. If he's going to share his talent with us, I'm there. I don't care what state.
Yeah,
I'm there.
right.
But yeah, I used to like the song back in the day. This was when I heard it on oldie stations.
Oh,
When I was too young to hear the original, or if I
Right.
did, I don't
Mhm.
remember. But
I remember
you get
that.
older and you
Yeah.
listen, like here in Chicago, we listen to certain radio stations, and they would play
Yeah.
an oldie in there.
Right.
That's when I
So the letter. Yeah, I remember that song. I mean, Shaun's cover of it's okay. It is what it is.
yeah.
So
It's,
Yeah.
like you said, it is what it is. He
So,
put a
yeah.
little bit of a different arrangement on it, but it wasn't bad. It wasn't.
I liked it.
It's
Right.
a good song.
yeah, all right. So now the last one on the album is called "You Still Surprise Me," and it's written by Shaun Cassidy and Jay Gruska. I believe Jay was in his band.
Okay.
So
Yeah, this one's slow.
one of his friends. All right, let's hear a little bit of it.
You can break me with your heart. You can break me with your laugh. You can tear me apart, turn me away and then love me back. You can catch me with your charm and save me in your arms. And I never know what to say, 'cause you still surprise me. You still get won by me. You still surprise me in your way.
All right, that's a cute
Yeah.
song.
It's slow. It's almost too slow, but it's still pretty. It sounds like she kind of though messes with him. She can break his heart, but she can also surprise him with her warmth. So it's another one of those songs where it's back and forth. But he still gets surprised by her, and maybe that's why he can't let her go. He can't resist her because he's not in a boring relationship, and he still sees the joy, through it. But, she goes back and forth with her attitude towards him.
Yeah. And it's funny when I look at these songs, because Falling Into You starts with, she's interested. And then the other songs are like, no, she's not interested. She's going to leave. And then by the end of the album, it gets better again. He's going to go see her on the airplane.
Yeah.
And, he enjoys being with her, and she still surprises him.
Yes. And he still sees the warmth, even though it goes back and forth, how life can be. He still sees the warmth through all of it.
Yeah.
This is a very slow, melodic piano songwriter, singer song. There's a man, a piano singing a song.
Yeah. And it's always like at the end of his albums, right?
And it wraps up the albums nicely. But here's what I took out of this song. This song is a note. It's kind of a love letter and a thank you note, because he knows that she helps him. Like, he doesn't want to leave. There's a part of the song that says, I don't want to leave, but you push me out. Like, she gets him up and out the door to do whatever it is that he doesn't want to do. You still surprise me. You still get one by me.
Mm-hmm.
I love this song. And remember I said earlier that the Heaven in Your Eyes is a slow jam?
Yeah.
It's got kind of that melody where you sway and you listen and you can move to it. This is a different kind of slow song. This is your slow love song where you just sit. There's a simple piano going on. And it's just such a beautiful
And it sounds
song.
like it's an encouragement, too, because when the world seems too cold and he wants to hide out, she comes along, she opens the door and pushes me out. And she says, you'll take your time, you'll do just fine. I think
the part I was
she kind of pulls him, out of whatever he's going through.
Whatever that is. It could be a little depression. It could be,
I
just don't want to be a part of it right now. And and that's why I think this is a love letter and a thank you note. It's a beautiful song. And I can't be the only one who remembers that he sang it at one of his concerts.
I could see him singing this.
I don't remember, but he probably did.
Because he was telling us that we still surprise him. And
True.
This was one of my favorite songs.
Yeah.
It wraps the album up nicely. It wraps everything, puts a nice little bow. And guess what? It even wraps this episode up nicely.
It sure does. Yeah.
Perfect.
So the album was a different from his other ones. He was trying to step up, I think.
Mm-hmm.
But then he went to Wasp, so that's another whole story.
That's a different episode, a whole different.
Yeah.
Oh boy.
Another time. But this album I thought was really neat on the very back where it's like, let's finish up with saying, this is what you guys had. I fed you. That's what's on the menu. I have these songs for appetizers and these songs for
that was
entrees.
cute.
And then he's, whoever was with him was quite happy. She left lipstick on the cup.
I
guess she made her way into the room, right? Because the front of the album, she's peeking through the window, and on the back cover, there's some lipstick on a cup.
Yes.
So you just have to wonder.
Maybe she came in and they just sang together or something.
He had some room service.
Okay, Dame, that's what they did. They sang.
Yep. Yeah, they did. They just sang. Well, the lipstick got on the cup, so it means she didn't kiss him or anything.
No, she was just having some tea. What are you talking about?
Yep. Yeah.
Dame, you still surprise me in your own way.
There you go. Oh, thanks, Therese. I guess that's good.
This was great, you guys. I loved revisiting Room Service. I haven't really listened to the whole album in years, and it was so much fun. Hope everybody out there enjoyed it too.
Thank you from the bottom of our Teen Dream hearts. Keep on crushing.
Always believe in magic.
And have a peaceful, Shauntastic week. And don't forget to follow us on Facebook, Instagram, Threads, and subscribe subscribe to our new YouTube page.
Make sure to keep in touch with us at our email, ShaunSquadSociety@gmail.com.
The Shaun Squad Society podcast, including past, present, and future versions, and its contents are owned and controlled by the Shaun Squad Society. The podcast is written, produced, and recorded at the Borden Studios, and the views and opinions are solely those of the Shaun Squad Society podcast. We may think we are always right, but we may get things wrong from time to time, so we assume no responsibility for errors of submission of content.